So everyone who's watching, please to start taking a session with Swetha, not just for nutrition, but to also get your life, find that balance in your life. And she's the perfect person to sort of help you in your journey of wellness when it comes to your food, when it comes to your lifestyle, when it comes to also giving you advice on your fitness and how to balance everything out in a way that benefits you in a long term. And of course, I'm sure you'll have apprehensions of taking it, multiple times in the first go. So start with one session, see how it goes, talk through with her, and then decide if you'd like to take that journey forward. So we've got a query here saying when a job demands us to be working till 2 a.m. and get back to work until 8 a.m., is it okay to be lazy in the weekends when my mind actually wants to work out at that time, but just can't get up? So Shweta, I'm going to let you take that one.
So it's natural that you will be lazy because you're exhausted since you're working that much throughout the week. But again, through the week also make sure that if your job is demanding, make sure that you have things that you carry with you that support your energy. To give you an example, there's always nuts and seeds in my bag. Every bag has a small dabba of either badam or nuts, something or the other that's there. Because I know if I'm stepping out and this, especially if it's a sudden thing that I have to do, and I will get hungry on the way, what's the first thing that I'm going to do? I'm going to go for things that aren't going to suit or is not the best option. When you have these things, so number one, throughout the week, while you're working, you have the energy to continue to do so you're not so exhausted. Even if you want to rest over the weekends, how much will you rest? I don't think 12 hours, 13 hours, we need to be resting. We need to also make sure that if, say, you're resting for 6 hours, you still have enough time on your hand. Give yourself that 30 minutes at least wherein you're working on your physical health. And 30 minutes, given that your job is demanding, make sure you're at least giving 1 hour if you can as a self-care and to work on your mental health. Because stress again results in all the other health issues. So if you're stressed out because of work and because of how hectic it is, at least an hour over the weekend just for self-care and 30 minutes to move around. It could be as simple as just stretching. Need not be that you go to the gym and do high intensity workouts. See what works for your schedule and automatically you will be able to get up. The whole point is to fit it into your lifestyle and not fit your lifestyle into what others are doing. That will make it easy for you.
I think the not fitting yourself into others' lifestyle, I think that's the best thing that I've heard in a long time. Because, we all keep trying to fit into all these boxes created by everyone. Like, after work, let's go work out. So you're absolutely right. I think we all needed to hear that at some point. Like, we can't keep trying to
create your own box.
Yeah,
that's something that's important because your schedule, my schedule is always going to be different. So if we're trying to match each other or match, especially since because of social media, everybody is always bombarded with how others' life is going. Yes. How fit someone is or how rich someone is or how much someone's traveling. And people are affected. We're all humans. So it does hit us somewhere or the other. Yeah. Ask yourself if you can manage that given your schedule. If the answer is no, it's simple. You got to kind of work on what works for you. Simple. Keeping it simple is going to take you a long time. Yeah.
That is true. That is true. Keeping it simple. Sorry, I heard this thing where
I cut you out.
I don't know abbreviate. Keep it simple, stupid. But I don't think stupid is a good word. So that's why KISS actually makes sense. It's all about keeping it simple. Yeah. But okay, so that's us to something new that we're trying out, which is very specific to this limited. We're going to do a little coffee with Karan style rapid fire.
Wow. So I don't have a coffee. I have my water, but okay.
So much. Honestly, I'm trying to decaf myself. I think coffee after a point is so harmful.
Yeah.
But I'm running on coffee this week, so I can't. I don't know what to say anymore. But yeah, so coffee with Karan style rapid fire. The purpose behind it is to get an idea behind your wellness as well, and also about the fact that, we keep, like, because throughout this entire thing, we just assume that professionals don't look after, don't need to think about it, don't do anything which is not right and not according to, what they need to do. But through conversation, of course, we figured out that even though you are a nutrition and lifestyle coach, you do have your comfort foods, and you do have your other things. So the purpose is to make sure that people know this very specifically as to how you take care of your wellness on the side as well. So are you ready, Swetha? Ritika,
Yeah.
we'll just come in 2 minutes. We're just going to do this rapid fire with Swetha first. All right, Swetha. So,
I'm ready.
all right. So, what makes you happy? Sea, mountain, or city?
See,
What's your comfort food?
Pani Puri.
Oh, nice. What kind of music do you like?
Pop.
Do you listen to music when you're stressed out?
Absolutely. Music's on throughout the day in my house whenever it can be.
And what's the current favorite song?
I was listening to Two Step by Ed Sheeran. That was the last song that I was listening to today.
So, what's your biggest indulgence when you're not feeling up to mark? Is it shopping?
Food-wise?
Is it food? Is it shopping? Is it traveling? Is it talking on the phone? Is it like going through social media or just binge watching?
Right now, I'm dwindling between talking on the phone and watching something.
What is your favorite fitness activity?
It's a combination of either yoga or Pilates.
Interesting. And last but not the least, what is your go-to life mantra to feel better?
Every day in my head, constantly telling myself progress over perfection.
I like that. Very deep. Thank you, Shweta. That was a fun rapid fire. It was fun getting to know you on the side as well, like personal side. Shweta, I have one more question to you before we run away and answer Ritika's question as well, and one more
Sure.
that we somewhere else. So, we've all had an embarrassing food moment where either we've eaten too much or like, something has happened. Has anything of that sort happened to you where you didn't want to look at food after, or like a certain food item that scarred you for life?
I wouldn't say scarred, but yes, I do go through my own binging sessions. Like I said, we're all human. So there are times, especially the last 1 year has been tough on my side. So there have been days where I've had binging sessions and I've been like, oh God, like I don't want to see food for a while. But then again, my mantra comes in my mind, just get on track the next day, hydrate yourself, work on yourself. But yeah, and like I said, it's kind of rediscovering yourself and also figuring out what are the habits that you can replace when you're upset, when you're sad, when you're in grief. What are things that you can do, which boost you up. I wouldn't say to taking you to a higher vibe, but at least to a neutrality where you're not burying your face into food or Netflix or something or the other.
I get that. I totally get that. Because like I've had a very embarrassing. I love Uncle Chips. I don't know if you know Uncle Chips.
I
That
know.
green packet.
Yeah.
It is it. But lately it's not last few years. But like it's my comfort food. It's like my go-to food. So every time I have it, I swear off it. I'm like, I cannot look at you. And every time I'm stressed, I'm like, where's my chips packet? I actually walk to find it because it's so rarely available in stores near. But yeah, like I think food for everyone is a different deal, but everyone's comfort food sort of pulls them down quite a bit. Like it's a little hampering to their wellness. Always like makes them question themselves, question what they're doing. So food ends up becoming very crucial. So Ritika has asked us, how different do we do the breakfast, lunch, dinner routine, and does intermittent fasting work?
Again, I don't know you personally. I don't know your current status. So I can't tell you if intermittent would work for you or not. But you have to make that choice for yourself. And the questions to ask yourself while doing intermittent too, if you are a extrovert, if you're a social being, does that fit into your lifestyle? The second question to ask yourself is, how low does your energy become if you're not eating for a very long time? Ideally, we're all fasting for at least 12 hours if you eat your breakfast, lunch, dinner at the appropriate times. If you're eating very late and you're then again eating very early, yes, the gap is reduced. But it's person to person, and it's also depending on your health goal. If you do not have a massive need to do something, I don't think you need to be as restrictive as doing intermittent fasting. But again, it's person to person and body to body. I didn't
Ritika,
understand the breakfast, lunch, and dinner question. Sorry, I'll just go up and. How different do we do the breakfast, lunch, and dinner routine? I'm not sure I get that question. Maybe Ritika, if you can be a little more specific, I can give you a specific answer for that.
also, what I will suggest is, Ritika, why don't you take up a session with Swetha on There For You? I think that really well, because as she said, intermittent fasting is a person to person thing. So I think she'll have to understand you and your routine and all,
Absolutely.
comment on it and give you very valid advice as well. So, you know, just sign up for a session. She has sessions almost every other day on the platform. We also have group sessions, and we have a workshop coming up. But before I go to that, we have one more question from one of our viewers. She sent it to me on the side, which was, how do we say no to food? And I think that's a question that most of us have. How do we say no to like yummy food, like when it's spread in front of you?
Okay. One thing, you have to understand why you're getting cravings. Mostly, if we restrict ourselves too much, like let me take your example, sorry, but I'm going to talk about Uncle Chips while you're listening. But once in a while, eating comfort food is fine. But it should not have that tag that it's a comfort, because which means that we're doing it because we have a particular emotion. Have food without guilt. When you have it without guilt, you're not going to gain fat, you're not going to have digestive issues, because you know that you're having it a little bit for a limited time. Okay. So one thing is, don't you don't have to say no to food. You need to figure out what's going wrong in your schedule, that it's coming to a point where you have to say no to food. So maybe figure out if you have deficiencies, because if you tend to have deficiencies, you do crave for certain food. Like if you have iron deficiency, you crave for sweet. Okay. So you have to kind of figure out if you have deficiencies. And I would recommend everyone, even the healthiest person, needs to do their blood test every 6 months, because given that our food quality, air quality, everything is compromised in the day and age we live, it's always good to know what's happening internally, and figure out if you're waking up and immediately scrolling on phone, or if you're working, then you are immediately answering your clients or your boss or your mails. Because if you're not giving yourself enough space in the morning dedicated to yourself, your meal, you're actually starting your day off wrong. So body will catch up to what it's not getting in the first half in the second half.
Interesting.
Okay. It'll always happen. So if I don't give myself, like I go on a low carb diet, it's going to catch up with me if I am exercising intensively and still not giving it the fuel that it needs at some point or the other. Okay.
Right.
So it's very important to also believe in balance throughout the day. Don't, this is one thing that I tell everybody, that don't make potato a bad guy, because unfortunately in the rice, potato, chapati, everything's become bad. So
That's true.
include everything that suits your gut. If Of course, if wheat is not suiting you, don't eat it. If something's not suiting you, don't eat it. You don't have to force yourself. But balance your meals out, because then you won't look at food like, oh my God, there's no, like, it's the world is ending tomorrow and I need to eat everything that's here. So you have to figure these things out. Does that answer the question? I
I
can
hope
go
so.
on this, so that's why I'm like cutting it off.
No, but I think that brings us to a very important thing that you and I are doing. You and therefore you, actually. Everyone who's still here, we are starting a workshop. So the first workshop will be on the 24th of this month at 12 p.m. It's a 2-hour workshop where she'll be talking more about building a relationship with your food. So that would include being able to say no to food, or being able to actually create that relationship with food, that you don't need to say no to it. Like, you don't need to say no to everything, but having it in the right amount, the right way. And one thing that you brought up, which I think is really crucial, which most people don't know, that when you have a deficiency, you crave something even more.
Right,
And
right.
very, like, I've seen it across my research as well, but of course you know about it much better. So guys, if you do know food, I think our research and our knowledge about it is still so limited. So please, please, please sign up for the workshop. It's there on our website, www.thereforyou.xyz. And we really hope to see you there, because right now you got to know a very personal side of Swetha, and you got to understand that she too, like us, has her cravings, has her comfort foods, has her days where she will binge eat. But because she's able to understand how to balance it out, she's able to manage it better. And that's why she can guide us, you and me. I know I need guidance too, to guide all of us to actually be able to create a really good and healthy relationship with food and with fitness. And at the end of the day, all of it ties into our emotions, to our wellness.
Right.
So please do check out thereforyou.xyz. Do sign up for Swetha's sessions, one-on-one sessions, the workshop. And we also have group sessions where we have a similar setting, like You're Not Alone Conversations is having right now, where we have conversations about it and guide you to what you can do better.
And we
But
get into depth over there.
correct. A workshop will give you the theoretical knowledge as well as information, will help you. And group sessions and one-on-one sessions will give you the responsibility to report into her. And I really truly hope that all of you sign up, because you will benefit from it. Swetha, thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you so much for joining us for our conversation. Would you like to say something before we end our conversation?
I think I've said too much, but one thing is, firstly, thank you for having me, and secondly, like I said in the middle of the conversation, keep it simple. And the more you stress, the more it's going to cause a lot of issues for your body. Always remember, your mind and your body are one unit, so make sure that you're always working on your mental health as well as physical health, and always figure out what emotions are triggering what kind of reactions. It could be food, it could be laziness. Figure out these things and create awareness, because that's really going to take you a long way. And yes, accountability is absolutely important for all of us. So I hope to see all of you in our workshop as well as all our other sessions.
And also, one thing that Swetha did say that I truly loved was create your own box. Do
Yeah.
not follow trends, do not follow dietary trends that are there. Do not follow what your favorite influencer is on social media. Please know that what you eat, what you do should be based on what your body needs, what your emotions need. And that's why, Shweta, today or this weekend, sign up for the workshop, sign up for a one-on-one session based on what you're looking for. And remember, we are there for you and not alone. Take care, everyone, and thank you again so much, Shweta. I'm sorry about all the glitches with Airtel, but
Completely fine. I hope everybody got to hear the important parts of it. Glitches always happen. That's completely fine.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Swetha. Bye.
Bye.